Good day, students. Welcome to mathgoodserve.com. In this clip, we're going to be going over problems 96 to 100 of the Elm Ept exam, and we're going to be focusing mainly on geometry. Don't forget to visit our website at mathgoodserve.com for access to a wide variety of math tutorials ranging from algebra to calculus. All right, let's take a look at problem 96. It says a rectangular garden has a perimeter of 28 yards. The width of the garden is 6 yards less than its length. What is the area of the garden in square yards? So let's give ourselves a visual. So it's helpful to do that of the situation. We have a rectangular garden. And let's see, the width is less than the length. So let's apply that to our sketch. So let's go ahead and declare our variables. I like to declare the independent variable first. You notice that the width is dependent on the length. So this is the independent and that's the dependent. So let's start with the independent. So let the length be, spell that incorrectly. Let the length be L. All right, and then the width is W. But we also know that the width is 6 yards less than the length. Okay, so the width is going to be 6 less than the length, so we're going to take the length and subtract 6 from it. Okay, so in this sketch that we have right here, this is our width, this is our length. Our width is also L minus 6. We do not want to forget that. That's the length, and that's also the width, which is length minus 6. Now we want to formulate an equation. The perimeter can help us to create an equation. We know that the perimeter is equal to 28 yards. So what's the formula for perimeter? Let's go ahead and write that down. The formula, or formulas, let's write down the two formulas we need. Okay, so for perimeter, we have P is equal to 2 length plus 2 width, and then the area, because we're going to need that to calculate the area of the garden. The area of a rectangle A is given by length times width. All right, so all we need to find the area is the length and the width. So let's go ahead and find those two. So we're going to use the first formula. This perimeter information is the hint that helps us figure out what the first equation is. So since the perimeter is 28, we know that, let's rewrite that, P is equal to 2L plus 2W. P is 28. 28 is equal to double the length plus double the width. But we also know that the width is length minus 6, right? So let's apply that here. We have 28 equals 2 times the length plus 2 times, instead of the width, we have L minus 6 based on this information we have up here. Now this is an equation in one variable, so we can solve it. Let's go ahead and do that. Partition my workspace so we don't get confused. So we have 28 equals 2L. Now we're going to distribute these two to this two terms in this quantity right here. So if you distribute 2 to L and negative 6, you're going to have plus 2L minus 12. Okay, now let's solve this resulting algebraic equation. We have 28 equals 4L minus 12. Can subtract, actually add 12 to both sides to get the 4L by itself. We're going to have 4L equals 40. And then to get L isolated, we divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. And then we're going to have L is equal to 10. Now if L is 10, what is the width going to be? The width is 6 less than the length. So the width is simply going to be 10 minus 6, which is 4. All right, and these are in yards. Now that we have the dimensions of our rectangle, we can now proceed to find the area. All right, the length is 10 and the width is 4. So now we're going to make use of the second formula. Area is equal to length times width. So in this problem, the length is 10 and the width is 4. So 10 times 4. And your final answer is going to be 40 square yards. We can see that our answer is option letter C. All right, let's take a look at question 97. It says, if the circumference of a circle A is twice the circumference of circle B, and the radius of circle A is 4, what is the radius of circle B? All right, so let's go over our scale factor formulas again. We went over this in part 8 of our review series when we're doing problem number 81, something like that. So let's go over it again. Scale factor formulas. Scale factor formulas. You want to really memorize these formulas, all right, so that you can do well when you're dealing with scale factor problems. So for side length, for length of perimeter, to find the dimensions of the enlarged length of perimeter, you simply multiply by the scale factor. Okay, scale factor of the side lengths. For area, you multiply by the scale factor square. Okay? And then for the volume, what you do in the volume situation is you multiply by the scale factor cubed. Okay? Alright, so in this situation, we are given circumference of A and B. Does that qualify as a length, area, or volume? Circumference is a distance, is a length around the circle. So we're looking at this situation right here. Okay, so if circle A is twice, if the circumference of A is twice the circumference of circle B, the scale factor from A to B is equal to, from B to A is equal to 2. All right? So let's go ahead and write that down. It's very easy to get the order reversed here. So it says circle A is, so A is going to be the scale factor times B. In this case, the scale factor is 2. So any side in A is going to be twice B. All right? And then if it's the area, it's gonna be 4 times, and if it's the volume, it's gonna be 8 times. You just keep raising the scale factor to the appropriate power. So this is a linear relationship here. So the question is, if the radius of A is 4, what is the radius of circle B? So with this relationship, we can solve the problem. So radius of A is 4, so we're gonna replace the side length of A with 4. Now we have to find out what B is. So 4 is equal to 2B. All right, so to get B isolated, we divide both sides by 2. If we divide both sides by 2, we're going to have B is equal to 4 over 2, which is 2. Answer is option letter B. Okay, let's take a look at problem 98. It says a regular hexagon is formed from 6 equilateral triangles as shown in the figure above. If each triangle has a perimeter of 4, then the perimeter of the hexagon is. So let's label our hexagon first, and then we can use our formulas to guide our problem solving process. Okay, so this is S, 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 S. So since this is a regular hexagon, all these triangles are going to be congruent. So that's S, 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 S. Okay? So in this situation, we're dealing with a triangle. So the perimeter of a triangle is the sum of the lengths of the 3 sides. But since these 3 sides are congruent, because it's an equilateral triangle, we're simply going to triple the length of a side. So 3 S's, S plus S plus S, but 3S is the perimeter of your triangle. Okay? Now let's see if we can use this equation to find the value of S. what information do we have in this problem? We're told that the perimeter is 4. So the perimeter is going to be 4. 4 is equal to 3s. So if 4 is equal to 3s, that follows that s is going to be what you get when you divide both sides by 3. Okay, so divide by 3, and then your answer s is going to be 4/3. All right? The problem says, what is the perimeter of the hexagon? What is the perimeter of the hexagon? Now, if you have one side length, how many sides does a hexagon have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're looking for the sum of these distances right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sum of the side lengths is the perimeter. Okay, let's write down the formula for the perimeter of a hexagon. So perimeter of a hexagon is 6 times the side length. In this case, we're dealing with a regular hexagon. Okay, if it's not regular, then this formula is not applicable. You're going to do the sum of all side lengths, all 6 side lengths. So we know what s is. S is 4/3. So our perimeter here is going to be 6 times 4/3. Okay, if you multiply across, you have 24/3. 24/3 is 8. So we see that our answer is option letter A. All right, let's take a look at problem 99. It says 3 spherical balls, each 2 inches in diameter, fit snugly inside the cylindrical can shown above. What is the volume of the can in cubic inches? So in order to find the volume of this cylinder, let's go ahead and write down what the formula is. So volume of a cylinder is given by the area of the base times the height. The base is a circle, so the area of a circle is pi r squared times the height h. So all we need is we just need to find the value of the radius and the height in order to compute the volume. All right, we're told that the diameter is 2 inches. So what does that mean? Let's go ahead and draw the diameter. So this is the diameter right here in a horizontal orientation. We can also orient it vertically. So if the diameter is 2 inches, then the radius is half of that, okay? Because we know that D is equal to 2R. So if the diameter is 2 inches wide, 2 inches long, half of that is going to be 1. So we have a situation where this is 1, this is 1, also this is 1 going up and 1 going down. So our radius is 1 inch. Our height, if we orient the diameters in a vertical fashion from bottom to top, we're going to have 3 diameters there. Since each one is 2 inches long, then 3 diameters is going to be 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So that's going to be the height of our cylindrical can. So for this cylindrical can, h is equal to 6, and the radius is equal to 1. Now let's plug that into a formula. V of cylinder is pi r squared h. So if we plug in our values, we're going to have pi times 1 squared times the height of 6. And then if we'll work that out, we're going to have 6 pi inches cube as the volume of our cylinder. All right, let's take a look at number 100. It says, in the square above, measure of angle AEF is 140. What is the value of angle X? So in this situation, you want to make sure you label your known angle correctly. Okay, angle AEF, so the angular value is going to be on angle E. This is 140 degrees right here, 140. And we're asked to find the value of this angle. Now, since this is a square, what are the angles of a square? They are all 90 degrees, right? So this is 90 degrees. Now, in order to find what this angle is, in order to find the value of angle X, what we can do is we can find this angle and then add this to 90, subtract from 180 to get that angle right there. All right. There are other ways we can solve this problem, but let me do it the long way just to make sure you understand. All right. So if this is 140, this angle right here is going to be what? We know that they form a linear pair, right? What is a linear pair? 180 degrees formed by two angles. So angle Y is simply going to be 180 minus 140, since they both add up to 180. Okay, so 180 minus 140 is 40 degrees. So this angle right here is 40 degrees. Now we can use a shortcut and just subtract 40 from 90 to get our answer, which is 50. It was accurate because this is 90 degrees. Or we can do it the long way, but this should be 50 degrees. Okay, so let me do it the long way so I don't confuse anyone. We know that these three angles add up to 180. So we have x plus y, which is 40, plus 90, equals 180. That is the triangle angle sum theorem. The sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay, let's simplify that. 40 plus 30 plus 90, 130, equals 180. And then you subtract 130 from both sides. And then you have x equals 50 degrees as indicated earlier. All right, so our answer is option letter B. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Really appreciate it. Do feel free to subscribe to our channel for updates to the remainder of this review series. And do post a comment in the comment section to let us know what you think about this presentation. More clips can be found on math.serve.com.